be self-willed, okay? And I like the word there. It's otheides, okay? Do you see the starting of the word authority there? Okay? So he's not supposed to have this high idea of authority over everybody. Being arrogant as a result of self-will and stubbornness, somebody who is overbearing. In a number of languages, arrogant may mean or may be expressed as thinking one is so much better than anyone else. Would you believe that? Yeah. Always looking down on other people or always saying, I am better. Okay? So we don't want anybody that's got the negative may, so he's not supposed to be self-willed. And I've written this little quote from Opening Up Titus, which is a really nice commentary. He says in here that a church ought never to appoint a self-willed or arrogant man, a man who always wants his own way, who is autocratic and domineering, who likes to lord it over people. What is needed are men after the pattern of Jesus, humble, gracious, kind, and ready to serve, men who are prepared to spend and be spent for the sake of God's people. Thought that was a beautiful, beautiful way to express exactly what's being said in our passage. Quick-tempered, not quick-tempered, okay? And this is somebody that has a tendency to become angry really quickly. You know, we can become, we can slowly stir into things, but sometimes, y'all, we've been in meetings before, right? So we've seen this before, okay? Working in the oil field for 14 years now, I've seen this a lot, okay? A lot of quick-tempered people there. And there are in all different places. When I worked as a paramedic for many years, get on scenes, and there was quite a few quick-tempered people because we never seemed to get there quick enough, So that's just life. Quick-tempered persons lose no time being angry, and do so with those they ought not, over things they ought not, and far more than they ought. Did you catch that? Okay? That is not quick-tempered. Not addicted to wine. This is the same thing we saw over in verse 3:3 in 1 Timothy. Okay? The same exact wording there, the perinos, or poroinos, excuse me. It's the same exact word, so I'm going to fly over that one because we've already addressed it. The next one's not pugnacious, which is parakletes, and that's another word that we've gone over as well in 1 Timothy 3:3. It basically means violent, okay? Can we get a little frustrated in congregational meetings?
No.
Can I get an amen? All right. Not fond of sordid gain, okay? Now, this word is a little bit different from the other one that we saw the other day where we talked about not a lover of money, but we did kind of touch on this word a little bit. It's ascrocardes is how it's pronounced, pertaining to being shamefully greedy for material gain or profit, shamelessly greedy for money, avarice, fond of dishonest gain. This was one of the biggest things that they were seeing in these two churches. Okay, along with the adultery part, they were also seeing people basically were selling their souls for money. Okay, they were teachers sneaking in the house saying, oh, I deserve to be paid for the work that I'm doing. They weren't doing it because they wanted to. They were doing it because they wanted to get paid to do it. Okay? Is there anything wrong with getting paid for teaching?
No.
No. Okay? But that shouldn't be your compulsion, should it? No. Okay? That's the point he's trying to make here, okay? Once again, this is a reference, same word in 1 Timothy 3:8, which talks about deacons. Same exact word. The next one is starting in verse 8 is be hospitable. Be hospitable. Now, he's done the nots, okay, because we've seen not quick-tempered, not addicted to wine, not pugnacious, not fond of sordid gain. Then we saw not self-willed. So we've seen the nots. Now we're going to see the do's, okay? In verse 8 it says, but hospitable. But hospitable. which is the same word we studied in 1 Timothy 3:2. It's literally a lover of strangers. This person has a gift to reach out to people. It is part of his gift as a pastor. That poimen gift, the shepherd. He's able to bring people in. Okay? He's a lover of strangers. Okay? The next is looking or loving what is good. Loving what is good. It's philagathos. Okay? That phila, I see the beginning of that, and I think like a philanthropist. I had a problem getting that word out there. What is a philanthropist?
Someone who gives money to a lot of
Okay.
sources.
That's somebody who loves doing what is good. Okay? Loves doing what is good. Also, Philadelphia came out of that, in my opinion. And what does Philadelphia mean? What is that? The city of what?
City of brotherly love.
Brotherly love. So, philagathos, liking or loving what is good. In the Greco-Roman world, it meant a characteristic of an especially respected and responsible citizen. I really like that. It is used once, only once in the entire New Testament, and it's here. Paul just pulled that word out and said, but let me give you another one that you haven't heard yet. Okay. Loving what is good. Sensible. This is the same word we saw in our other passage, is sophron, which means sensible and moderate in one's behavior and avoiding extremes in behavior. We saw that in 1 Timothy 3:2 as well. So it's another word that goes along with that. Just is one of those words that this is the first time we've seen this in his two different passages. Diakaios. This word is used about 72 times, if I remember correctly, or 79 times in the New Testament. And usually it's translated righteous or right. Okay, is usually how it is. I'll give you some definitions here. It pertains to being in accordance with high standards of vicissitude, upright, just, fair, righteous, or righteousness. Okay, so it has a very large range. What I did like was a little background that I got out of the BAGD lexicon, where it says in the Roman or Greco-Roman tradition, a dikaios, I'll say it here right, person is one who upholds the customs and norms of behavior, including especially public service that makes for a well-ordered, civilized society. Such perspective opened a bridge between Greco-Romans for understanding Jewish/Christian perspectives, especially in the description of an overseer. So that gives a lot of meaning to that word, okay? Because that really tells you that that person that was able to have that just ability, that righteousness that only comes from humility, he helped bridge the gap in the understanding between the cultures of Christianity and the basic, idolatry that was going on within the Greco-Roman world at that time. So, to me, that really says what we've been talking about the whole time, is this above reproach has a lot to do with not only what they see inside the church, but what they see outside the church as well, okay? And that just puts credence to it. James 15:16, let's just go there because I just want to show you one time out of the 79 times it's used. In James 15:6, somebody may just know what that one is off the top of their head.
5:16.
5:16 in James.
Is this the same word in 1 John 1:9?
Huh?
Is this the same word? as
That is the
1
same
John
word in 1 John 1:9 as well, yes.
Oh, confess your sins.
I mean, just about every time you see the word righteous, that's the word that's being used. So it's 79 times. So in James 5:16, it says, survey says, therefore confess your sins to one another and pray for one another. There it is, yeah. And pray for one another so that you may be healed. The effective prayer of a righteous man can accomplish much. So there's our word again. And that's why I say generally translated as right or righteous, as we see it there, okay, or righteousness, okay? But here we use just. They use just, okay? The next word is devout, okay? And this is hosios in the Greek, pertaining to being holy in the sense of prior moral qualities and possessing certain essentially divine qualities in contrast with what is human. Go to Philippians 4:8, and I think this will put that in perspective. And he says, finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence and if anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things. So what does devout mean?
Person who dwells on those things.
Basically, somebody who dwells on those things, okay? Because that same word is used there. That same word is used there. Self-controlled is our last one in verse 8. Self-controlled, and this is in krates, having one's emotions, impulses, or desires under control. Self-control and discipline. This is one of those words that relates back to an athlete. Because as an athlete, can Jay tomorrow decide he wants to go run a marathon?
No.
No, not a chance. Maybe 1,000 yards
I'll be right
before.
there. I'll be
Okay.
right there with you, Dad.
But in this particular case, this person is self-controlled enough to where he has a schedule, he has an agenda, he knows exactly where the goal is, okay? And he plans on how he's going to get there. Okay? Is that important for leaders in the local church?
Yes.
Because should we have goals?
Of course.
Yes, we should have goals.
Yes.
Okay? I don't want to say that we're going to run this like a business and we're going to put out our prospectus and everything, but we do need to have goals on what we want to do. And what should be our number one goal?
The equipping of the saints.
Saving the lost. But we have to equip the saints to do that, don't we?
Yes.
Okay. As we look back at all of this that we've talked about, and think back to that 1 Timothy passage that we talked about as well, do we see an emphasis on qualities rather than gifts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Character.
Do we see character rather than abilities?
Yes.
I mean, there was only really one time in this whole passage that we saw anything about a gift. And what was that? Able to teach. Every other one of those things went towards their character and went towards their qualities as a person. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
What was the one, blah, 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 not gifts?
Character.
Blah, blah, blah. I like that. It is.
Character, not abilities.
It is not interesting as we look back at what we have studied, we see an emphasis on qualities rather than gifts.
Yes, quality.
Qualities rather than gifts, and character rather than abilities.
Got that.
Okay. And I think that's amazing. Because,
Yeah.
you know what we're talking about? We're talking about two offices, people. We're talking about the office of overseer. In our time, it's the office of pastor-teacher, because that's the gift that has the office of overseer. Okay? And we're also talking about deacons. And it's about their qualities. It's about their character. It's about them as a person. And oh, by the way, they need to exercise